Good evening. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network presents the DCTV 4-H Evening News Program for Tuesday, October 11th, 2016. Camera people, Keegan and Cody. Video engineer and producer is Russell. Sound engineer, Barry. Teleprompter is Dan. Prompter, Myra. With news anchor, Nicholas, and meteorologist, Devlin. And this is your news director, Edward, and now the news.
Good evening and welcome to the DCTV 4-H News and Weather Program. Help keep our kids' news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. Hello, I'm Nicholas, and the following stories from the Durango Herald. Animas Valley Balloon Rally launches this weekend. Joining the ranks of neighboring towns, the city of Durango will host the first Animas Valley Balloon Rally this weekend. During the town puts on a hot air balloon display for Snowdown in January. There hasn't been an official snow show in favorable summer or fall months as do other towns in the Four Corners region, including Maquis, Pagosa Springs, and Albuquerque. Don't know why we haven't had one in the fall, said Doug Lindbergh of the local pilot with the OTR, Hot Air Balloon Ventures, who helped organize the event. Guess no one's ever sat down and put it together. Lindbergh asked his pilot friends if they'd be interested in flying this weekend after Albuquerque's International Balloon Fiesta. He was able to get 14 pilots from 6 states to sign on. This story is from the Live Science. Fossilized tropical forest found in Arctic Norway. The tropical forest densely packed with 12-foot tall trees with flared trunks and curved branches and needle-leaves. Dr. Seuss would have felt right at home. Covered in area near the equator some 308 million years ago, scientists spotted the fossilized stumps a long way from this location in Arctic Norway. Not only did researchers state the forest as one of Earth's oldest, they also suggest it may have contributed to a dramatic drop in atmospheric carbon dioxide levels traced to that time in the planet's distant past. During the Diluvian period, Earth's last large trees were emerging. Also around this time, atmospheric carbon dioxide dropped significantly. Scientists looked to the earliest forests for evidence that trees' growth played a part in scrubbing CO2 from the atmosphere. Trees use the greenhouse gas to photosynthesize and form sugary food, contributing to a global cooling event that occurred at the end of the Diluvian era. This following story is from the NBC News site. Maryland police impersonator pulls over a real officer, police say. Maryland, posing as a police officer, turned his lights and sirens on behind a real police officer, officials said. John Vincent Angelini, 51, of Baltimore, was arrested Wednesday after Montgomery County Police said he trailed an off-duty detective driving on an inter-county connector in an unmarked car. The driver of the Crown Victorian then slowed down so that he was behind the detective's car and turned on his siren, police said. The detective felt that he was being pulled over began to reduce his speed and pulled over to the side of the road, at which point the Crown Victorian abruptly changed lanes again and continued passing, police spokesperson Officer Rick Liddell said. The detective then turned on his own lights and siren to stop the driver. The detective determined that Angelini was not an officer and arrested him. Now dumb laws in California. Santa Monica, you may not play percussion instruments on the beach. And Temecula, ducks may have the right of way to cross Rancho California Street, and walnut kites may not be flown above 10 feet over the ground. Children may not wear a Halloween mask unless they get a special permit from the sheriff. Persons may not pick flowers from the city parks. One may not leave sand in their own driveway. And now the weather with Devlin.
Hey, this is the meteorologist Devlin, and I'll be giving you the current weather report. The current temperature is 67 degrees. The high for today was 69 degrees. The low was 52 degrees. Winds are from 1 to 3 miles per hour from the northwest. The barometer is at 29.86 inches and is falling. The humidity is at 28%. Today there has been 0/100 of an inch of moisture measured by the DCTV weather station. Moisture for the month is 0.05 of an inch. And now here's our national weather outlook, the big map. It is clear across most of the Pacific Northwest and the West. There's a small band of snow across northern Wyoming and South Dakota. Rain is falling from the Dakotas into Colorado and Oklahoma to end in Missouri. Southeast Texas has a small area of rain. Most of the Atlantic coast is clear and the clearing reaches inland from Wisconsin through Louisiana. The Atlantic side of Florida is getting some rain, probably the remnants of Hurricane Matthew. Now I'll be giving you the 5-day forecast. Wednesday, high of 70, low 35. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 69, low 34. Friday, partly sunny, high 72, low 36. Saturday, mostly sunny, high 70, low 36. Sunday, mostly sunny, high 71, low 36. Now I'll be giving you the CO2 report. Carbon dioxide, CO2, is one of the principal causes of climate change, and it is important that we report the CO2 weekly change. CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere, which causes climate instability, resulting in significant swings worldwide of moisture and hot and cold temperatures. The following are the CO2 numbers for this week. CO2 for the week of October 1st, 2016 in parts per million is 400.91. CO2 2 weeks ago was 400.72. CO2 last year was 398.51. And CO2 10 years ago was 378.81. And CO2 50 years ago was 318.1. Thank you, Dr. Peter Tanz of the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration and Michael McGee of the CO2.Earth website for this information. Remember that you can help keep our kids' news show on the air by becoming a sponsor. To buy a sponsorship, just call 970-677-4119. Thank you, and now back to our news director.
Okay, beautiful. That's the end of today's DCTV 4-H news program. This is your news director, Edward, saying good night, and thanks for watching us.